So, this is not really a video that I was thinking I was going to make, but, sometimes the Walmart $5 DVD bin has some really, really great movies in it. In fact, I have gotten several discs from there that have immediately become permanent parts of the collection. And then there's shit like this. My history with Monster Hunter is actually really, really simple. I'm bad at it. I have played a little bit of most of the games. My first one was Freedom on the PSP, and then I immediately went from there to World, pretty much. After playing World, I moved on and got 4 Ultimate on my DS, and then Rise on the Switch, and then eventually I went back and got Tri for my Wii, and honestly, so far, Tri is my favorite. Underwater combat, fully underrated. Genuinely hope it comes back in Wilds. I know it's not coming back in Wilds. Please don't tell me it's not coming back in Wilds. I fucking know. So I'm not exactly a massive part of the Monster Hunter community, but I am aware of it. I've watched Eric's, I've watched Rage Gaming. I don't watch Rage anymore. I watched Team Darkside. Some of their shit is just wild. So I am somewhat aware of the opinion of this particular film. However, I do try and keep an open mind. I like to form my own opinions. I also like wasting money. So $5 Walmart discount DVD bin to the rescue. Just looking at the back of the box, some of this shit is just hilarious to me, because I do know the opinion on this movie. I've seen a couple reviews. They're not good. Honestly, I kind of get it, right? Because I have yet to like anything that Miss Jovovich has been in. And I'm pretty sure that she only gets roles because her husband is the director. Capcom, please stop hiring this guy. Please. It says a lot when the only thing that they can put on the front of the cover is big monsters, huge effects, and nonstop action. They can't think of literally anything else to say about this movie. That's what they're going to sell it on. This isn't going to really be a normal review, as I hope I've gotten across to you here by the fact that I am literally, crouched on my bedroom floor right now. I have some cleaning to do, and I've been putting this cleaning off for about a week now. Actually, some of the shit has been on either the desk or the floor for over a month. It just wasn't a priority. We're going to put this movie to a little bit of a test. See, when I usually put something on while I'm cleaning, if it is a good piece of media, whether it be a YouTube video, a movie, or a show, typically I will forget what I'm doing. I will watch it, and I will get literally nothing done. We're going to try that with Monster Hunter, the movie. And if my cleaning gets done, I think that will be probably the biggest admonishment of this film that maybe anyone can give it. We can add another quote to the box. Perfect background noise for getting stuff done because anything else is too entertaining. So let's give it a shot.
Here we go.
Now, maybe it's because, and this is just a theory, maybe it's because Fatalis is a black dragon and they don't want to use it in any promotional material at all. And Gormagala was a marquee monster that was on a cover. And that's why they went with Gormagala instead of Fatalis. But what the fuck? I mean, as you can see, I've actually got a lot done. That was the goal here, was put the movie on, start cleaning, see how much I get done. And as you can see, I got quite a bit done. So I am going to rate just on this, and I'll let myself have a few minutes to think after. But and we'll finish this down here on the floor again. But I mean, it's a clean room out of 10, or half a clean room out of 10. I still have to do the desk and sweep, but damn. Okay. All right, we're done here. We're done on this segment. Let's move on to the next one. It's been 1 week, so stuff has happened, and I took some time to think about this movie. And the room has gotten clean, which was the entire goal. And I even started over again so I could build this new chair. Basically what I'm saying is that, Monster Hunter starring Mila Jovovich is the perfect gotta get your room clean movie to put on. Maybe second only to like some weird B sci-fi movie like Breach. That would probably be another really good one, because you can turn your brain off and still be lost even if you were paying attention, so it's fine. I guess that does beg the question then, what about this movie was just so well set up for not watching it, putting it on the background and getting other stuff done? I think a lot of it does come down to it being just super formulaic, It plays on the lone survivor thing that is present in almost all of Mila's movies, especially the ones where it's a Capcom property. And you know exactly what I'm talking about here. But also the pacing was really weird. It slowed down in really odd spots. It picked up in really odd spots. You can definitely tell that the plot is only there to go from one set piece to another. And, maybe it's just that I don't like action movies anymore. Maybe it's that I need a little bit more meat on my action movie sandwich. But I definitely did not find it as enthralling. I loved seeing the other hunter. I think
Tony Jaa
plays it. I forget his last name. It's on screen right now because for some reason it's just not coming to me right now. But him and Mila, they actually seem to have really good chemistry on screen, which is great because for about, we're going to say half the movie, it's just them running from these weird bug monsters, which I'm sure somebody somewhere has told me what those monsters are. I don't know. I thought at first that they were
Alteroth,
but they were more spider-like
then Alteroth.
and they didn't have the abdomen, so I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure Editing Me has also put that on screen if he found out what they were, if he cared to find out what they were. I may not have. He may not have. The other thing that really bugs me about the Monster Hunter movie, and this has stuck with me the entire week, and I can't seem to get it out of my head, is they missed out on a couple of really great opportunities to use music from the games. And I don't know if that was a licensing thing, if Capcom said, no, you can use our creatures and you can use our weapon designs, but you can't use established characters and you can't use our music. Who knows? The only people who know that deal work at Capcom and Screen Gems, maybe Sony. I think a lot of people, at least the videos that I watched on this movie, kind of go hard on the Hershey product placement. And yet every video that I've watched on the Sonic movie did not mention the overt Olive Garden placement. So I think that's like not a great argument. So a couple of days after watching the movie, I watched a video from Jakob, the Monster Hunter, who he does a lot of like really cool history videos. I think he's the one that does the history, like the best Monster Hunter that we never got, which was his video on DOS. He recently released a video where he goes over what Monster Hunter is about. And of course, he like even points out like, well, of course it's about hunting monsters. But his thesis, and we're talking about the game series here, not the movie, just like the franchise as a whole, his thesis is that it's like a representation of humanity, right? And he gets kind of theological about it, which his take is actually very unique. I will go ahead and have it linked in the description, although I don't know how much traffic I can drive to him. I'm still going to do it anyway because it was an inspiration, and I think it's A, ethical, and B, kind of a really good watch, especially if you're into Monster Hunter. But he goes into saying how Monster Hunter as a franchise is about humanity's relationship with nature, because it's Monster Hunter. Any monster that is not endemic life, which would be your small bugs, your fish, things like that, they're considered monsters. But they really fall into one of two categories. They either fall into just straight up, these are literal animals, or these are representations of forces of nature, catastrophes, natural disasters, things like that. And the entire point of the franchise is this is a society that has been raised with these creatures being real, and this is how humanity would have reacted to these things being real. Instead of them being fantastical like they are in the real world. It's a really great watch. And I thought it was really funny timing that I would watch his video not long after watching the movie, because it sort of paints my opinion on the movie in a very different light. It definitely makes me feel like there was a massive, just gaping missed opportunity with this film there, where we could have actually had a village that we could have gone to. I know World was the new thing at the time because the movie came out before Rise, I think. So they were really trying to push this. Oh, this is like a desolate crew, but we don't ever see any other like community, because another big aspect of at least the earlier Monster Hunter games is like building up this community by being that community's hunter or one of that community's hunters. And that kind of still carries on through to, World and 4 and 4 Ultimate and Generations Ultimate, where you're like a part of something bigger. You're not an action hero. You're just another wheel in the cog in humanity's fight against these monsters, against these forces of nature, against nature itself. And that's sort of a huge missed opportunity that I think, I don't know, Capcom is really bad about these movies coming through using their IP that kind of don't mean anything, right? Like, I get it. The first couple of Resident Evil games, I don't really think had a message other than like, maybe we should regulate biotech more. But that's more of a takeaway than a message. Like, that's a reading. And I mean, that's the same thing with Monster Hunter, right? It's more of a reading, a vibe that we get from the franchise. But I'm like, that's not an unfounded vibe. In Jakob's video, he actually pulls from interviews in the art books about Monster Hunter. And these interviews talk about basically exactly that, how they pulled from life, how they pulled from nature. So I don't understand why they couldn't have made the movie that way. So I guess all this to say, it's a disappointment, which, I mean, at this point we all knew. But if you need to get shit done, it's like the perfect movie to put on. Because just about nothing fucking happens until like the last 20 minutes. And what happens in the last 20 minutes doesn't fucking matter anyway. Because a fucking Gormagala comes through, and I'm sorry. Oh, that's another thing. This will be the thing I close out on. Why the fuck is the hunting party only 3? Like, forget the fact that the team of 4, UN soldiers couldn't take down a Diablos. Whatever, we had to get the lone survivor storyline somehow. Why is the hunting party only 3? When Capcom's directive from the era that gave us Monster Hunter was they wanted to make a 4-player online multiplayer game. That's how we got Monster Hunter. That's how we got Resident Evil Outbreak. And they made like a racing game that followed a similar structure in that era. So why wasn't the hunting party 4 people? Right? Like, they had characters who were clearly supposed to be the ace hunter and ace handler from Monster Hunter World. Why, hell, even have the muscular chef who I'm not gonna lie, he was a little weird. I'll even scooch over here so I can put it on the screen. He's a little weird. He's a little weird looking. Giving Mila that wink was a little out of pocket. But for the short time that the muscular chef was on the screen, he was my favorite part about the screen. Okay, there was a charisma to that you cannot deny, as weird as it was. But yeah, like, just anything, any 4th person, because a full hunting team is 4 people. So you close out, you close. I know we're Americans. I know we like 3. I know we like odd numbers. I love odd numbers. But come on, a hunting party is 4. Okay? Just have a 4th character there when the screen goes black, when Gormagala comes through the portal, which I don't want to get into that. The isekai thing was so fucking dumb. But like I said, it made for a great movie that you could put on and iron your shirts, or get some laundry taken care of, or sweep, or brush your dog, or put your clothes away because they're there. I know you've got clothes on your chair. Put them away. I hope you use this video as an opportunity to put your fucking clothes away. All right? And if not, use it as inspiration to put on a bad B movie where fucking nothing happens. And get your fucking clothes put away, okay? Thank you. Fucking stay cheesy and good goddamn night. I wasn't worked up when I put the camera on, but now I am. All they needed was one more guy.